Hey everybody, you're probably going to see my computer screen reflecting in my glasses. I apologize for that distraction. There's a couple updates I want to give you on based on the video that I did about the 7th month and that judgment and Jacob's trouble begins in the 7th month, based on the calendars. Real quick though, something that I wanted to explain and a correction that I need to make. In my list, and I'll put it on the screen, I have that when the floodgates open and the fountains of the deep began in the flood, that was in the 7th month. That was actually in the 8th month. Genesis 7:11 tells us that it was the 17th day of the 2nd month of the year that the fountains of the great deep were broken up. Now, it's important to understand that there's two different calendars throughout the Bible. There's the ancient Hebrew and the more modern Hebrew. So something we need to understand about the calendar shifting in the Bible, in the Word of God, of Yah, that it changed. Somewhere in the first 1,000 years, it used to be that the 7th month, where we celebrate the new year, the beginning, Tishri, Rosh Hashanah, Trumpets was month 1, and then Heshvan was month 2. And so if you go to Genesis, you'll see in the 2nd month. Well, it says 2nd month, but in our current calendars that have been changed and shifted, that is now the 8th month. I think we can all agree that the flood is a highly substantial event that happened on God's, Yahweh's calendar. And so understanding when that occurred is very important. So I wanted to stress here that it's not in the 7th month that it occurs. It is in the 8th month, which would be a month from now. So there's a really interesting video that I want to share with you that I'm going to link below from the channel 1111 sign. I think it's 11. Yeah, the 1111 sign. It's really interesting because Heshvan, let's see, the 2nd month and the 17th day of the month will actually land on November 11th this year. So that's interesting, depending on which calendar you're looking at. I am going by the sun, moon, and stars as the 3 witnesses. That's just kind of where I am right now. So I am looking towards this weekend for Rosh Hashanah, for the beginning of the new year, the Feast of Trumpets. I'm looking for that as a Sabbath Holy Convocation this Saturday. So just in a few days. But that's just me. That's just where I am at. The Father's still teaching us. Now remember, we don't know if it's this year. Yahweh's timing is perfect. God's timing is perfect for when he will do these things. But I do believe that it will be Jacob's trouble, great tribulation will come upon the earth starting in the 7th month. And then whatever happens on Heshvan, if it aligns with the floods of Noah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I hope that helps explain the calendar situation. I know it's difficult when you read in the Torah or in Genesis, and then when you get to Exodus, things shift. Things change. I've got my calendar of the world schedule here. This is pretty cool. I want to show you guys this. So here we have where we begin. And then it goes down the line. And then we have the flood here. So the flood actually began when they calculated time here. It was the 2nd month of their year. And then after, when you get to Moses and the Exodus around this time, and the Exodus, that's when the calendar, I believe, changed. And they shifted the numbers of the months. And so now when you read in, you'll see now that it's the 7th month, which used to be the 1st month. So I know that's confusing, so I hope you can see that okay. But yeah, I love this thing. It's the whole history of God's perfect timeline, Yahweh's perfect timeline. Of course, and here's where we have the Mashiach right there. So I hope that was helpful. I know I've had lots of people ask me questions. This is just what the Father is leading me to right now, and it doesn't mean that it won't change. Just go by where the shepherd guides you. He is your shepherd, and we are just to be obedient and walk in obedience and pray and ask him to guide us. I will link the 11:11 video below. I will also link a helpful video on how to celebrate the feasts in the 7th month, Trumpets, and then the Day of Atonement, and so on. I found a really good channel, and I thought that she did a great job of explaining how her family celebrates. I want to share that with you. I pray you are all well and walking in covenant with our Mashiach and Yahweh Elohim through the Ruach HaKodesh. Be blessed. Shalom.